Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Guys, I have so much to say about Viking Saga right now that it's gonna feel pretty good to finally get this out and to finally be able to be talking about this show after seeing 3 episodes and not talking about it ever since. Guys, there is a time for death in shows. And with this show already teasing it hard, like just teasing the fact that our main character, who's the kid, is probably going to be alone and need a reason to have such a devilish look that he has in all the opening songs I watched for 3 episodes. There had to be a reason for it. And when I saw 3 episodes straight of just nothing but like understanding of what the times were like, understanding of like what other people are going through, stuff like that. It gave me the feeling that we were way, 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 way out of the actual thing we were supposed to be seeing with the main character. I was like, or out of sync, yeah. Like, how are we getting all these songs and stuff about him being alone, about him dual wielding weapons and all this stuff when we haven't even seen him fight? And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, boom, bop, beep, boop, pop, it's happening. Oh my god, you get punched in your mouth, Naruto. And by God, if this show isn't one of, if not, like the biggest competition of of all the shows that have dropped, this one is up there. And I don't think many people can question me on that. Like, this show has some stuff in it that just is brilliant. The fighting choreography, just that they gave to the man who pretty much cheats at the end of the day, was brilliant. It was so sick. Like, imagine having a ridiculously overpowered guy running you down, or not running you down, walking you down. What are you going to do? Are you going to still just let him walk you down and then after he's done, actually try to get in a fight with that person? Like, no, the reason why he's walking you down is because he ain't afraid of you. Because he's not, you don't care what you do, he's going to be all up in you. And that's what Thors was like. And to think that this man does not back down, that he does not even cower, he literally lost a whole ship of men to an unarmed, warrior. So there could only been so many things running through my mind after I heard that he not that I heard that he comes back, but you see him come back. You watched your one of your strongest guy who literally turned into a berserker form of himself because of the mushrooms he was eating, and none of this changes the outcome of that man's battle at all. He destroys every single person on that ship, besides the people that the Berserker form destroyed for him, and then he absolutely embarrassed them time and time and again when it came down to just using hand-to-hand combat. But like I was saying, with the leader of this attack cutting the ship's flag down, like it's sail for the ship down, and by the time it's about to touch the ground and hit, he goes underneath it. Because imagine this, not only do you have to wait for it to get to a point where it's past your, it's like at your head, right? So it literally gets to a point where it's completely covering him. At that same time it is covering him, it is very, very close to the ground, or should I say close to the bottom of touching the ship. This man still limbos under it with an attack at Thor, hitting him, and guess what? Thor still saw it coming and dodged it. Bruh. Bruh. Oh my god, man. This show has ridiculous, ridiculous hype in it already. And the one thing that really is a shame, and not only a shame, but was foretold eons ago. Like this was pretty much cut and pasted in there that Thors is going to die and the sun is going to become a monster, and a monster he became. Thor winds up winning this duel because the smartness of fighters always can be used against them. And once they're used against them, either they're done really well or it's done kind of lame and you don't know why it happened. But in this case, whew, whew, he straight up saw, our main bad guy here this week. He saw the fact that he needs to um, make his move on Thor's sword as soon as possible because both of their swords were giving way from all of the like back and forth slashing. So both swords are about to break, and he's already figured that out. But who else probably has broken the most swords out of the two in actual experience? It's Thor, probably. So out of everybody, he should know as well that that is about to happen, which seemingly he does. And after doing such a like strong attack, the guy kind of counteracts it with something quick to just break Thor's blade, but at the same time knowing that Thor's blade is open, like leaving him open and he's open to attack, this man literally thought he wins and takes his most, widest swing because his first swing was so shallow, and that gave him another instance of I need to cut as hard as possible and I need to hit as much as possible to actually be able to take this guy out, seeing how he can dodge from even this close of range, right? So that was all kind of just conveyed through their little battles, with each other for not even 5 minutes, right? Um, but overall, Thor ends up breaking his elbow, like we saw him break the other guy's elbow. Like I felt so bad for that guy. Everybody's getting punched, everybody's getting kicked and stuff. But then he gets to that guy and he just shatters his whole entire life, right? It was brutal, man. It was freaking brutal. But this is what I expect from this series. And I was actually really scared after they took the Thor's life. I mean, there's, like I was saying in the very beginning of this video, there's a time for death in shows, and this show really wanted Thors to go out like an OG, triple OG, which he did. But the saddest part was making his son probably feel like he's gonna imagine that it's his fault. I can only presume after a while, right? Like if his and that's what Thors was saying in his mind, like if I was alone, if no one was here with me, this would be the easiest encounter of my life. I would just body these fools, no one would ever hear about it. But because there's so many eyes, that's from his village. And the one thing that tripped me out the most about the village whole thing is, what if they still pillage his village? Like what if now Foki, the guy who sent him to go, goes back and destroys the village now? You know what I mean? Like, if our main character, the kid, loses his mom, sister, and like everything, man, like that's so messed up, bro. And he already is acting as if he lost everything by watching his father win the duel, but still being the one to give his life in the end. Yeah, that man, that hurt. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that really hurt, and I expect nothing less from a show that was just really making Thor such an awesome character, but he was way OP. This man was taking out full fleets of people without even swinging a sword, so if he did swing a sword, it would have been over twice as fast, pretty much is what they're telling you. Um, yeah, I can't wait to see how this kid will try to avenge his father. But from what I can tell, from what I just seen in like the credits and not the end credits as much, but the opener, um, it feels like we're going to, regardless of what we just saw, we're still gonna get a good climatic like battle, with some really big people. Like there's gonna be a lot of like crazy people our main character's gonna run into with these people that have killed his father, which, I mean, if they even go to sleep for the wrong moment now and he's still around in the village, or like in their camp or whatever, there's no way they should be able to be sleeping without one eye open with that kid around. So I like that aspect of the storytelling, but again, to think that he's probably going to help with the raiding and stuff like that so he can just survive and have food to eat because they're probably not going to feed him unless he helps and stuff. So that's kind of what I expect to see with this show at the end of the day is where does our main character end up? What does he end up learning from people that he actually, lost his father to? Like, that's the weirdest part to me is what's going to happen to him once he learns about them and, gets all comfortable enough to eat around them or whatever the case may happen. I don't even think he might get comfortable enough to eat around them, right? I'm just guessing. I'm pulling at straws here. Like, he's a kid, and kids are some of the most easy to influence, including since um, he actually, Thors, he really broke out a lot of the questioning in front of the troops and in front of his son. So for us and the audience, we should honestly know that, or the son should honestly know that there was someone else involved, and the person who was involved was the man that showed up to the village much earlier. If he did end up catching his name at the end of the day, I'm not entirely sure. But with all that being said, I got so much videos to drop for you guys, and I thought I could start off with these two and then drop two as soon as possible. So I'm gonna drop. You should already be getting JoJo already before this video, and after this video, I'm gonna drop the ones within the show with all the streaming and stuff like that. So I hope you guys truly enjoy yourself and your Sundays. But yeah, I definitely need to keep grinding and get this stuff out to you so I can actually enjoy my Sunday because I want you all to have the content that you want to see. I'm not going to do Heroes today, and I don't think I'm going to do Fairy Tail as well. I have Fairy Tail completely done and recorded, but now that all these shows came out, and I just kind of blame JoJo, really. Like, a lot of these shows I already knew were coming, besides Viking as well. I blame Viking and JoJo. I knew a lot of these other shows are coming, but these two shows that I did first are the ones that surprised me the most by showing up. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back with more content very soon, so don't get the world all mixed up in it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. It's been amazing. I can't wait to see your guys' reaction to my videos. Not only that, tell me how you're feeling about all these shows. It's getting wild. Look at that motion blare. Ugh. And I will definitely talk to y'all next time. So with that, peace. Bow Saitama. Hey!